The Chicago Bulls have quietly put together one of the more impressive off-seasons in the NBA. While the Eastern Conference looks tougher than it has in years, Chicago has done a great job positioning itself to be a competitive team next season. They selected Caleb Wilson with the 4th overall pick, added veteran scorer Norman Powell, and made an underrated move by acquiring Nick Claxton. On top of that, they've surrounded their young core with experienced players who can help accelerate the team's development, and the front office may not even be finished making moves. Everything starts with Caleb Wilson, the 4th overall selection in this year's draft. He had an outstanding season at North Carolina, but his Summer League debut showcased a level of offensive confidence that we rarely saw during his college career. Right away, he announced himself in a big way. And no, I'm not suggesting what Bill Simmons joked about on his podcast, but when a rookie steps onto the Summer League stage and drops 35 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 combined steals and blocks while knocking down 7 of his 11 three-point attempts, people are going to pay attention. That's especially true when the player is a 6'9" forward, possibly closer to 6'10", with a 7-foot wingspan, whose biggest pre-draft questions centered around his outside shooting. Suddenly, he looks like a legitimate perimeter threat. He can score off the dribble, knock down catch-and-shoot opportunities, and create offense in several different ways. It was a version of Wilson that we simply didn't see consistently at North Carolina. One possession perfectly illustrated that growth. He used a hesitation move to freeze his defender on the perimeter, attacked the opening, and finished with a smooth mid-range fadeaway. That kind of self-created offense wasn't a major part of his game in college, but with the extra freedom Summer League provides, he's been able to display more of his overall skill set. His jump shot also looks noticeably smoother. Chicago has already started using him as the trailing shooter in pick-and-roll actions. As the defense collapses to help on the rolling big man, Wilson slides into open space, catches the pass, and confidently knocks down the three. On another possession, he simply caught the ball on the wing, attacked immediately, and finished at the rim. Now imagine pairing that version of Caleb Wilson with Montas Buzelis. For the first time in quite a while, the Bulls have the foundation of a genuinely exciting young team. Maybe not since the Derrick Rose era has there been this much optimism surrounding Chicago's future. Buzelis will be just 22 years old next season after averaging 16.3 points, 5.8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2.2 combined steals and blocks while playing 29 minutes per game. He also shot 46% from the field and 36% from beyond the arc on 6 attempts per game. More importantly, he's beginning to develop into the franchise-caliber playmaker many scouts envisioned when he entered the NBA from Australia's NBL as a first-round pick in the 2021 draft. Much like Montas Buzelis, Josh Giddey has continued to improve with each passing season. His overall efficiency has steadily climbed since entering the NBA. While his three-point percentage dipped slightly last year, he also attempted more shots from deep, making that decline much easier to live with. At 6'8" with a 6'8" wingspan, Giddey brings outstanding size to the point guard position. He's more than capable of running an offense, and he looks like a player Chicago can build around for years to come. Then there's Norman Powell, who may have been the Bulls' most underrated addition of the entire offseason. Despite earning All-Star recognition last season, Powell still doesn't seem to receive the respect his production deserves. Chicago signed him to a 2-year, $45 million contract, and it's a low-risk move for a team that's still developing. Powell gives the Bulls a proven veteran who can mentor their young core while also providing consistent scoring and helping keep games competitive. Last season, he averaged nearly 22 points, along with 3.5 rebounds and 2.5 assists, while shooting 47% from the field and 38% from three-point range. He's capable of scoring at every level, and his offensive versatility should make life much easier for Chicago's younger players. Under the NBA's current lottery system, being one of the league's worst teams is no longer as beneficial as it once was. Remaining competitive while continuing to develop talent can be the smarter long-term strategy, and that's exactly the path the Bulls appear to be taking. Chicago also strengthened its front court by acquiring Nick Claxton. The Bulls may not be ready to contend immediately, but 2 or 3 years from now, this starting lineup has the potential to be extremely dangerous. The only projected starter on the wrong side of 30 is Norman Powell, who should still have several productive seasons ahead of him. Claxton gives the Bulls a reliable rim protector with underrated offensive ability. Last season, he averaged around 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 3.5 assists while shooting an efficient 57% from the field. After previously playing alongside Cam Thomas and Michael Porter Jr., he'll now be catching passes from Josh Giddey, one of the league's better playmakers. That combination could create even more easy opportunities around the basket. Defensively, Claxton is already an established presence. Pairing him with Buzelis and Caleb Wilson gives Chicago an athletic, lengthy, and versatile front court, capable of impacting both ends of the floor. At 7 feet tall with a 7'2" wingspan, Claxton possesses the ideal physical profile for a modern NBA center, combining size, mobility, and shot-blocking ability. If you've made it this far, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel. Right now, roughly 93% of viewers aren't subscribed, so if you're one of them, now's the perfect time to change that. Also, don't forget to check out the college basketball version of the channel. Now, let's keep going. Looking at Chicago's second unit, the Bulls also added another first-round pick by selecting Deneen Swain with the 15th overall pick. While there were a few prospects some fans may have preferred, it's hard to complain about adding another versatile athlete. Swain stands 6'8" with a 6'10" wingspan, fitting perfectly into Chicago's ongoing strategy of collecting long, athletic forwards who can defend multiple positions and continue developing offensively. That approach has become one of the most successful team-building models in today's NBA. Even though Jalen Brunson helped lead his team to a championship despite standing just 6'2", he was surrounded by lengthy, versatile wings who complemented his game on both ends of the floor. The Bulls also continue to invest in Noah Esengu, whom they drafted 12th overall the previous year. He entered the league as a developmental prospect, and he's still very much a work in progress. Standing 6'11" with a 7'1" wingspan, Esengu unfortunately dealt with injuries last season that limited both his G League and NBA opportunities. With better health this year, Chicago hopes he'll finally have the chance to show meaningful progress during his third season. Jalen Smith is also back after agreeing to a 1-year contract worth roughly $9 million. That's excellent value for a backup center who can stretch the floor, protect the rim, and provide reliable depth. It's a contract that gives the Bulls flexibility, whether they decide to keep him for the season, move him before the trade deadline, or negotiate another deal next summer. Chicago also acquired Rob Dillingham in the trade involving Ayo Dosunmu, along with additional draft assets. Dillingham hasn't fully found his footing in the NBA yet, but at only 21 years old, there's still plenty of time for him to develop physically and refine his game.
Another dependable piece is Tre Jones, who quietly had a productive season for the Bulls. He averaged 14 points, 5.4 assists, and 3 rebounds in 27 minutes per game, while shooting an impressive 55% from the field. Although his three-point shooting remains a work in progress, he provides valuable depth and stability at the guard position. Rounding out the group is Leonard Miller, another young forward acquired from Minnesota in a separate transaction connected to the Dosunmu trade. At 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan, Miller remains one of the more intriguing developmental players on the roster, and given his age, Chicago still has plenty of time to see how high his ceiling can be. Leonard Miller will be just 23 years old next season, and he already showed some encouraging flashes at the NBA level last year. In only 23 minutes per game, he averaged 12 points, 6 rebounds, 1.7 assists, and 1 combined steal and block. That's legitimate NBA production from a player who's still developing. He also shot an efficient 56% from the field, while knocking down 36% of his three-pointers on just over 3 attempts per game, giving Chicago another versatile young forward with upside. Overall, I really like what the Bulls have accomplished this offseason. A starting lineup featuring Josh Giddey and Norman Powell in the backcourt, alongside Matas Buzelis, Caleb Wilson, and Nick Claxton in the frontcourt, has the potential to be both entertaining and competitive. That group has a nice mix of youth, athleticism, scoring, and defensive versatility, and it should be capable of winning its share of games in a stacked Eastern Conference. Will that be enough to earn a playoff spot? Probably not just yet. But competing for a play-in tournament berth is certainly realistic, and those meaningful games would provide valuable experience for a young core that's still growing together. The biggest question mark is the second unit. The fit isn't perfect, especially with Rob Dillingham and Trey Jones both serving as undersized guards off the bench. Still, Den Swain brings intriguing upside, and it'll be interesting to see what Noah Esenge can contribute if he stays healthy throughout the season. The Bulls may not even be finished making moves. Since they're one of the few teams still possessing meaningful cap flexibility, they've reportedly been linked to potential sign-and-trade scenarios involving players like Benedict Mathurin or Peyton Watson. Looking at Mathurin specifically, he averaged 17.6 points and just over 5 rebounds per game last season, while shooting 43% from the field and 32% from three-point range. His efficiency dipped after being traded mid-season, which isn't uncommon given the adjustment to a new team and system. If Chicago somehow manages to add a player of his caliber to this roster, it would make an already impressive offseason look even better. I'm a big fan of the direction the Bulls are heading. They've added proven veterans, invested in talented young players, and built a roster that should be exciting to watch for years to come. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.